the SEC's bringing civil charges against them. What Goldman Sachs had done is they conspired with a guy named John Paulson, who runs a hedge fund, to pick bad assets, bundle them up, and then sell them off to investors without letting them know that they put bad assets in there. Why did they do that, right? So this John Paulson guy would then turn around and bet against those assets. And he made $3.7 billion betting against these kind of assets. And the investors of Goldman Sachs, specifically in that trade, lost $1 billion. $1 billion, while Goldman Sachs knew exactly that they were putting together garbage. Now, why did they do it? One, they made money on both ends. They made money from Paulson. He paid them $15 million. And number two, they made money from the guys that they sold the assets to. So Goldman's making money either way, but they're just using the guys at the other end of it as suckers. So who are the suckers? Well, you got foreign banks, you got foreign countries who think, oh, America, Goldman Sachs, they know what they're doing. And you got pension funds, giant pension funds, your money, my money, the 401ks, etc., all that money of the masses, and they turn around and they go, oh, no, don't worry, it's AAA. And that's where the rating agencies come into play. Say, oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, they're perfectly safe. Then you buy it, and boom, you run right into the iceberg and you lose $1 billion. And meanwhile, Paulson makes a ton of money, and Goldman Sachs makes a ton of money. And now that the SEC has actually charged them with this, well, that's a great breakthrough because it's a recognition of what's going wrong. It's an attempt to fix it and to get a little bit of, compensation for the people who were harmed. Because after the SEC does this, believe me, there's more civil lawsuits coming. And that's why Goldman Sachs stock took a big dive today, as it should. And because this is fraud, literally. Now, to give you a great sense of it, I want to quote one email. The guy who organized this trade was a guy at Goldman Sachs by the name of Fabrice Touré, okay? And he's also charged by the SEC today, Goldman Sachs and Fabrice. Here's what he wrote in one of his emails to his friends. So you see that he knew exactly what was happening. Quote, more and more leverage in the system. What I warn about, right? He writes, more and more leverage in the system. The whole building is about to collapse any time now. Only potential survivor, the fabulous Fab, referring to himself. His name is Fabrice. He calls himself the fabulous Fab. That's awesome. And he says, the only potential survivor, the fabulous Fab, standing in the middle of all these complex, highly leveraged, exotic trades he created without necessarily understanding all the implications of those monstrosities. So here's the guy at Goldman Sachs putting all this together, saying they're monstrosities, the building's going to collapse, and the only ones who make money are us, because we put it together. Guilty. Totally and utterly guilty. Now, if I'm one of those guys who lost $1 billion because of the fabulous Fab, oh, I'm coming for you. I'm coming to your house, in a judicial sense, okay, to try to take that money back. So today is a great day. We begin the process of healing a little bit, figuring out what went wrong, and trying to make it right. So very optimistic today.